you had a pretty stellar weekend, didn't you, buddy?
I'm gaining on it. Just you gotta crawl before you walk, and walk before you can run.
Well, what did you think of the overall event up there? First of all, let's talk about what Todd Quering did. I think you were a little critical on the first night, and maybe you woke up some people because the crowd was a little bit bigger on Saturday night. But you were pretty vocal about you better get some fans in the stands so Matt Wood will bring this race back, right?
Yeah, obviously he's got sponsors and whatnot, but and he is growing it. But obviously, if there aren't race cars there and there aren't fans there, you just can't keep losing money.
Yeah. Well, do you think it's really because of they don't run enough non-wing races up in that area? You think that's part of the problem?
Yeah, maybe, but I feel like you go to a lot of places to where that aren't familiar with what we do or whatever, and they just think that the wing cars aren't running tonight, so we're not going.
Yeah.
I know that Matt. I talked with Matt last night. He said that he did advertise, but a lot of the people that I spoke with that are local said that that there wasn't enough, and most people didn't even know that anything was going on that weekend. Now, granted, they did. I don't want to say they didn't do their job because I'm sure they spent quite a bit of money to do TV radio or whatever, and I know that there were flyers everywhere, but I'll be honest with you, I don't really look at flyers.
Right.
We're in a new era. Social media is everything, and I guess radio or I guess people still watch TV. I don't really turn the TV on unless I'm going to watch a race or something because I don't need to be filled full of But
right.
Yeah, that was the main thing that I got from the local fans was that most people don't know, that something's going on, which I find hard to believe, but who knows? There were a lot more fans. That place is huge, but I feel, not knocking anybody, this is probably not going to come out right, but I feel that that USAC is lacking promotion. I feel that the All-Stars and the Outlaws are hyping it up and pumping it up, and their crowds show it. Obviously, I have ran both wing and non-wing. I feel that there's no more exciting racing in the world than non-wing sprint cars.
Yeah.
But you got to have someone, pumping it up every single night and getting it out there. And I feel that, in the last 10 years, that's dropped off, and most of the USAC fans are walking around with walkers. They got to get the next generation of the younger generation in there, and otherwise we're all going to be in trouble.
Don't you think that's a little unusual, though, Robert? Because we have so many young drivers that are involved in non-wing sprint car racing, midget racing, and that was such a big event for USAC up there at Husets. We have so many young kids. Wouldn't you think young kids would follow young kids?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't. Yeah, I'm not really sure. The average kid just rolls up with his helmet bag at 6:00, 5:30 for the drivers meeting.
Well, that's true.
From his hotel room, and has his AirPods in or whatever, and listening to the next, Justin Bieber or something, and don't really care about anything else. Don't let anyone know where they're going, and
right,
and what's happening, and they're kind of most of the kids nowadays, most of them have a lot of money, and they live in a fantasy world where they don't think about promoting themselves or promoting the series or pumping it up or trying to get people involved. They just I feel it's just the new way.
They don't do their part. They could get out there on social media and work it a little bit more, but they don't tend to do that as much. Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah, a lot of obviously we've got some young girls that are, I guess you would say good looking, and they're posting pictures of sunglasses or in bikinis and stuff, and not a lot about what's really going on with the race car.
Right.
People are obviously paying attention to them, but they aren't pumping up the event because a lot of them are spending $200,000-$400,000 a year to drive the car, and they live in fantasy land, and we're in the sprint car side of things. There's so you got a few, there's more than a few. There's a few good young upcomers, but I still feel that they're not doing their part either.